This program will cover the following learning objectives. Mainly, we will concentrate on structure, and we will use the structure and put it and create objects that will be stored in arrays. So it will be a combination of structures and arrays. Secondary effects, obviously, since it's an application, it's going to be menu driven, so we're going to have some loops. We're going to have some conditional statements. Since this will be an inventory control program where we're going to have several products stored in a database, and we're going to do purchases against them. So definitely we need some conditional statements there to make sure that whenever we purchase anything, we don't go below a certain level, like 0, for example. If you have 5 items, you can only buy 5 items for 3, 2, 1, or none. You definitely can't buy 6 of them. We're going to break down the tasks of this program in several functions. There will be some arithmetic processing going on in there. Very basic stuff based on this particular project. We will definitely use pointers. So this will be a good review on how to use pointers in C, how to pass by reference while we're using pointers. Passing by value will be also a good review for how to use parameters to have an argument that is basically a copy of some value, not necessarily an address. This is definitely going to be written in C. This could be written in any other language. As long as the logic is the same, shouldn't be a problem. So you should be able to do this in C++, Java, except you're not going to use pointers directly in this manner. Python is a good choice as well. Again, all right, so let's get started. And again, I'm writing this from scratch, so I might break up this program or this whole project in several parts. So I will break it up in manageable parts, so that way you can follow along, replicate the code, redo it, improve it. That would be even better, okay? All right, so a basic thing you need to have here to get started with a C program, make sure you're including the appropriate library. For our case, we're going to include not IOStream, that would be for C++, stdio.h. We're going to need this for printf and scanfs, or basically using your keyboard and your screen. Everything will be controlled by this controlling function. Okay. And now I got a kitty cat who wants to sit in my, here you go. You could sit here, here you go. All right, so return 0. All right, so now we have our main function. We can actually compile this program at this stage. There you go. Okay, so we're going to have several functions, several jobs this application will do. One of them, we need a menu. It's going to be a menu driven. So I like my menus to return an integer. That way you'll have several choices as to what you want to do. Okay. So maybe something like this, int choice. And at the end of it, you're going to return that choice. So I'm just setting it up right here. Okay. In between these two, I'm going to sandwich an actual menu. Okay. What else? Well, I'm probably going to need a function to populate my data that will be stored in the array. But first, we want to define what kind of data that is. It's going to be, so we're going to use structure, which is really one of the main learning objectives for this particular exercise. All right, well, maybe I should actually write a menu so we get an idea what this application will do, okay? So maybe something like this, printf. I'm not sure if the kitty cat purring is coming in through the microphone, but I'll keep working. I'd like to print to the center, a little bit to the center of the screen, so /t/t. I'm going to call it main menu. /n, and then printf /t/t /n, printf /t/t, maybe add a product, a new product to the database, right? So then next we would like to see all the products. So printf /t/t to view all products /n. How about finding a particular product and view, we're missing an E here. Yeah, well, we'll incorporate that when we're ready to purchase. So let me just, so maybe purchase a product. Printf /t/t 3 purchase a product. Okay, so yeah, let me see, what else can we do? View all products, purchase a product. I think it's good for now. In case we want to have another function to view a particular product, we can add that later. This will work for what we need to do to get started. So printf /t, enter your choice. Something like this, and then we'll do a scanf. And that would be a %d, this is an integer, and %choice. Okay, right, so this is our menu. We can test it quickly if it works. We could call the menu. So I need, since it's returning an integer, I need something of type integer to receive it. So for now, int option equal menu. And let's see how that behaves. So I can compile and run now to see how this works. Compile and run, there you go. And this is what you get, right? So we're calling it from main, which is our controlling function. And it's calling an external function called menu, right? So it's going to run that. So whatever we do, that's what we return. Perfect. We would like this to be actually in a loop. That way we could stay or leave the application. So for that, maybe you need an extra option to remain or exit the application. So printf. So if you picked anything at 1, 2, 3, maybe you should remain. If you picked /t/t 4 and you picked 4 to exit, then fine. We'll make that our exit condition from the application. In that case, maybe we need to do something like this. So let's declare option anyway. And let's do a do while loop here to control this. So we'll do a do, and we'll have a while loop here. And this will be based on the fact that option is not equal to 4. Now, obviously, inside the loop, you're going to have to set a value for option based on what you pick from the menu. So now is a good place to call the menu option equal menu semicolon. So now we know what's in the loop. So this allows us to remain in the loop or leave the loop if we meet this condition. Okay, so that means if it is 4, we're going to be out of the loop. If it's not 4, if it's any number at this stage, 1, 2, 3, 5, -3, 0, any of these numbers, and I will remain in the loop. Only 4 will kick me out. We will filter out all of the other values that you could enter as a user later on. So for now, just let's make sure this works. So we compile and run. Let's see here. I'm getting an error. It's saying printf, so I must have written printf the wrong way, right here. Perfect. So good. Let's compile and run again. And there you have it. So now we have a menu. So if I pick 1, I'm going to remain here. If I pick 2, I'm going to remain here. If I pick 3, no problem. If I pick 99, I will still be here. 0 will be here. The only way out is 4. Okay, good. Now, if you noticed, every time we display to the screen the next bunch of characters, so it kind of got busy. Wouldn't it be nice every time before you call the menu, you clear the screen? Yes, in Windows, you could do something like this. System, CLS. This will clear the screen, okay? Now, you may not be able to see what you entered, so maybe a system pause here to hold the screen for a minute could be very helpful right here. We'll see later on where else we can move it. But for now, let's see how this behaves with these two statements right there. So let me compile and run. Okay. So if I pick 1, notice my system pause is saying press any key to continue. I'm going to hit the space bar and notice it cleared. Now I have the menu back without any clutter on my screen. So 2, and there you have it. So if I do 77, not a problem. But if I do 4, and I hit the space bar now, I'm out of the program. That means you've executed the last line of code here, and you return 0 back to the operating system. Okay? That means this was true. This was false. I'm sorry, it was true. Which means this condition was false. Okay? So option was 4. Okay? So again, just so we are clear, not equal to 4. Okay? Right? Okay, good. So now let's go ahead and create a structure that will define our complex data type that will have components in it: a product name, a price, and quantity on hand. These attributes will describe what a product is. Now we could do that outside of main, and then anytime we could have a data type of that particular structure. So the way to do this is structure, or struct, I'm sorry, that's the keyword, and you're going to name it whatever you want, or like in our case, I'm going to call it product. Okay, and close curly brace, put a semicolon. Now we can put the attributes. Okay, we can actually put an attribute for this. And what would that be? Well, 1 is the name. So since we don't have a string type really in C, can we have an array of characters for a name? And the answer is yes. So you could have a char, product name, or just call it name, and give it about 10 characters. That would be valid. How about the price? What data type is that going to be? Well, you're going to have a decimal point, so it's definitely a float value. So float, price. How about quantity on hand? Okay, well, that will be an integer. You're going to have either 1 product, 0 product, 5 products, right? So that would be an int quantity. There you have it. Okay, so that is what we will manipulate. Okay, so we're going to need an array of products, since our next learning objective is to create an array of these products. Okay, and then we'll manipulate it where we can actually put a new product in there. So what does that mean? You're going to have an array of products and then you put new products. Well, we're just going to have 10 or 100 placeholders for these products. And then we can go back in there and actually specify what the product names are going to be, what the prices and the quantities. That is what we will do in the next video. So I'm going to stop here for you, if you're replicating any of this code, to have a chance to have a whack at it right now. And then we move on to part 2, where we will declare an array of these products, and then we will at least work out the first function that will add a new product within that array. And then we can go back and rerun this program and add more products within that array.